Good afternoon, friends. Steve Benoon here with Israeli News Live on our Patreon channel. And I wanted to share with you a very strange dream that I had here recently. And I really feel more urgent to speak about this, especially after listening to Doug McGregor. I'll play a little clip of him right here for you. Let me just turn it around where you can see him here for a moment and listen to what he says.
A Tomahawk missile lands in the outskirts of Moscow or Ryazan or Kazan or any of these places, he's going to be at war with Russia. And that war could rapidly escalate to the nuclear level. And once you hit the nuclear level, you have almost no control. We know that from experience in multiple war games, and everyone loses.
Okay.
If a Tomahawk missile lands.
And it's interesting that he says a Tomahawk missile. And the reason why I say this is because in the dream that I had, I was at these people's home. And we had saw on the news some type of event had happened. It involved with Ukraine, and it was like some kind of missile either went into Poland or to Romania, but it was blamed on Russia, of course. And then President Trump got angry, and he decided to launch a strike on Russia directly. Now, I don't know if I was in Europe at the time or if I was in America. I went for a walk. Somebody wanted me to take this little boy for a little walk there just to kind of get out. I guess they wanted to talk more about what was going on, so I left. Went for this walk, and as I'm going along, there's this huge complex, a military complex. It was in behind, standard military type fence with, the razor ribbon and things like that on top of the fence. But the building was a very large building, almost like airplane hangar style type of building, but it wasn't actually an airplane hangar. And as I'm walking along, knowing that Trump had ordered a strike on Russia, that wasn't a strike that was made public, he just had ordered a strike. I knew he had ordered a strike. Suddenly coming out from out the backside, not necessarily out of the building, but from the back side of the base there, missiles were being launched, and they flew in the direction to Russia. Once that happened, I realized we were in serious trouble because I knew that Russia was going to retaliate. Now, the odd thing is, it was not nuclear weapons that was being launched. It was, some other type of missile, maybe like what General McGregor says here. But nonetheless, those missiles were launched, and I don't know, maybe a half dozen were launched towards Russia. And I knew at that point there, we needed to get back, because if those missiles are launched from there, Russia's going to retaliate, and they're going to retaliate against the base where the missiles came from. We were trying to escape that area there, and in the process of doing that, the first set of missiles came in. When I say missiles, it was a single warhead, but it had multiple warheads on it. So as it began to fall in, it began to break up, and maybe 4 or 5 different missiles came down as a result, and the ground just began to shake like you never would imagine. At least JDAM or bigger type bombs that were hitting, and they were massive. And this went on, several more came in, and each time they would come in, they would get closer and closer to that military facility. And when the last one hit, it was almost, I didn't think we were going to make it. I really didn't. I thought we would die from it. And I get back to this house there where I was at, and I have no idea who this family was, but the mother of the child was just terrified. It was as if they knew we had entered into a wartime scenario. And she asked me to promise her that I would not let anything happen to her family. And then I woke up out of the dream. Strange as all get out. And most dreams are just vanity, and maybe that's all that is. But the more and more we enter into these things, false flags are going to happen. And whatever it was with Ukraine, it was definitely a false flag. It's almost like Trump and Putin knew what they were going to do as well. But nonetheless, it's the people that pay the price. And I wanted to share that with you guys so you know. And again, hopefully just a dream, but what could come to pass. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about 3i Atlas. So I hope you join us here on Patreon. Thank you.